Hey everybody, Sean from Movie Assault here, and it is time once again for my monthly pickups video, this time for October 2023. Today is November 1st, and I got stuff from eBay, Amazon as usual. Big Lots makes a return, and I got some stuff from Scream Factory's Shocktober sale. So I'll get right into it. Not a ton of stuff this month, but a lot of good stuff, hopefully. And I'll start with the eBay stuff. So the first thing I picked up is something that we talked about on the Good Movies podcast, which is a podcast that I appear on nearly every Thursday night. We go live on the Good Movies podcast channel, which you can find a link below. Check us out. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern Time each Thursday. And a few weeks ago, we talked about this. This is Matinee, starring John Goodman. Directed by Joe Dante. This was written by Charlie Haas. And we were talking about movies that take place in theaters, and this one came up. And I had never seen this, although I've heard good things about it. So I picked this up from eBay. This is a Shout Select title, obviously, with the slip. Got it brand new. I got this from Blow It Outta Here, which is a good eBay store to get things relatively cheap. And speaking of Blow It Outta Here, I also picked this one up. This is Who's Harry Crumb, starring John Candy. This was directed by Paul Flaherty and written by Arnon Milchan. Written by Robert Conte and Peter Martin Wortman. It was produced by Arnon Milchan. We talked about this as well on the podcast, and I got this with the retro VHS looking slipcover, again from Blow It Outta Here on eBay. This next one is a DVD that I picked up. This is a movie that, if you're old like me, it was on the original version of this was on sometime in 1981 or 1982 on ABC. I think it was an after-school special or something, but they remade it in Germany, and it's called The Wave, and the original stuck with me, but I wanted to see this new updated version. This is about a social experiment that goes awry in a high school, sort of a dangers of fascism type film, but I definitely want to check this out. And then I also picked this up. This is a movie I have not seen for a long time, but I wanted to revisit, and this is Brian De Palma's Dress to Kill. This is the Criterion Collection edition that I picked up on eBay for $16, which is pretty decent, and it comes with poster and, or actually that's not a poster, I'm sorry, that is the book. But this stars Michael Caine, Angie Dickinson, Nancy Allen. Very, very good movie from what I remember. I'd like to revisit it. All right, next up is Amazon, and I took advantage of, they had not a Prime Day, but some sort of big deal day, and a lot of Warner Archive titles were on sale, so I picked up a bunch. I picked up Memphis Bell from, I believe this is from 1990. Yeah, 1990. And this stars Matthew Modine, Eric Stoltz, Tate Donovan, D.B. Sweeney, Billy Zane, Sean Astin, Harry Connick Jr., and Reed Edward Diamond, Courtney Gaines, John Lithgow, and Neil Guintoli, I guess is the name on that. I saw this in the theater. We actually did I was a projectionist at the theater. We ran this late night and watched it the night before it came out and really enjoyed it. I love World War II aviation stuff, and this is right up my alley, and I'm looking forward to rewatching this one, which was hard to get on Blu-ray for quite a while. Another one that I picked up is a movie that I loved when I was a kid. I don't know if time will be as forgiving on this, but it's still a classic in many people's eyes. This is John Huston's The Man Who Would Be King with Michael Caine and Sean Connery and Christopher Plummer. I remember seeing this at the drive-in with my parents and then watching it numerous times as a kid on TV and loving this movie, but I was so little, I don't know why I loved it, just that I did. It was a favorite of my father's, so I'm looking forward to revisiting that. This I got sort of just because I really want to see how bad it is. I don't think I've ever sat through this all the way through. This is Supergirl, that was directed by, oh, that's a French name that I'm going to mangle, Jeannot Zwark, maybe? This is from 1984. This was back when the Salkins still owned the rights to the Superman, Supergirl type stuff. Yeah, this stars excuse me, stars Helen Slater and Faye Dunaway, and Mark McClure is in this. Peter O'Toole. But I have not sat through this all the way through, so I'm going to subject myself to Supergirl, and that may be positively one of the worst photoshopped pictures I've ever seen. But yeah, I want to put myself through that. New releases that I picked up The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Did not get a chance to see this in theaters. I heard it did not do well, but I heard it was also pretty good, so I'm interested to check this out. Of course, this is sort of the a new version to the opening chapters of Dracula, how he traveled to England from Transylvania. And then near and dear to my heart are Wallace and Grommet, and this was just released by Shout Factory, Shout Studios. This is Wallace and Grommet, the complete Cracking collection, or Cracking collection, I'm sorry, and this includes A Grand Day Out, The Wrong Trousers, A Close Shave, A Matter of Loaf and Death, and Cracking Contraptions. And if you're not familiar with Wallace and Grommet, they are claymation, stop-motion animation done by the Aardman Studios. And I have always loved them. And just wanted to add these to my collection because I loved watching these when they were on PBS, I think is where I originally saw them. In 4K territory from Amazon, new release, we finally got Prey, the latest edition in the Predator franchise. This is long overdue. This was originally released on Hulu, directed by Dan Trachtenberg. I believe that's the name. It's so small I can't see it. Yeah. I've talked about this, I believe, on the channel before, but I really, really enjoyed this, and there is a review of the film on movieassault.com if you want to see my thoughts on this, but I really enjoyed this and wanted to add this to the collection. Also added in terms of new releases, had to pick up Barbie. I love this movie, and I don't really care what you think about that. Picked this up. This actually arrived yesterday, so this was my last pickup of October. Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling. I just really enjoyed this. I thought it was a breath of fresh air and a lot of fun. And then the latest Film Masters release is out, and that is Beast from Haunted Cave. Also includes Ski Troop Attack, which was a movie that was simultaneously shot with Beast from Haunted Cave. I watched this on DVD probably late last year, and it was a really poor DVD copy, and Film Masters was taking these movies that were only available in these really poor versions and updating them and giving them a 4K scan from 35 millimeter archival materials. So I'm looking forward to seeing how well this looks, and also taking a look at Ski Troop Attack, which was shot with, I think, some of the same actors, but definitely some of the same sets. Okay, next up is Big Lots. They did get a few new things in, and I picked up a couple of things. I picked up Annabelle Creation, as I am trying to assemble the complete Conjuring universe in my collection. I have not seen this yet, or the original Annabelle as of yet, but looking forward to watching this at some point. And then on DVD, I picked this up, again, talking about the Good Movies podcast. We were talking about the movie Necessary Roughness, and it actually showed up on this 5-pack of football movies, which includes both versions of The Longest Yard, Varsity Blues, Necessary Roughness, and North Dallas 40 with Mac Davis and Nick Nolte. I have seen everything on here except for Necessary Roughness, and so willing to revisit some of these and watch that one for the first time. And then last up are my Shocktober purchases from Scream Factory. This is a William Friedkin film that came out in 1990, and I remember showing it at my theater, but I did not get a chance to watch it, and that is The Guardian. And this was directed by William Friedkin and written by Stephen Volk and William Friedkin. And this stars Jenny Seagrove, Dwyer Brown, I believe is the name, and Carrie Lowell. So, first horror film directed by William Friedkin since The Exorcist. So, that's a blind buy. This is a Hammer film, I believe. Yeah, this is definitely a Hammer film from 1957 that I watched not too long ago and kind of enjoyed. So I figured I would pick up a copy. This is The Abominable Snowman of the Himalayas, also released under the name just The Abominable Snowman. This stars Peter Cushing and Maureen Connell, Richard Wallace, and Robert Brown. And I don't know, I thought this was kind of entertaining. This was kind of an unusual film, black and white, obviously. It says, "We dare you to see it alone. Each chilling moment, a shock test for your scare endurance." I watched it alone in the afternoon and lived quite without much problem at all. Then I also picked this up. This is The Unborn, starring Brooke Adams. The reason I picked this up isn't really because this is a good film. It's an okay-ish film. But I really picked this up because of the soundtrack. I am a big Gary Newman fan, and he did the soundtrack with Michael R. Smith on this. And I actually owned the soundtrack. It was released on a CD called Human under Gary Newman and Michael R. Smith's name. I don't have it anymore, unfortunately, but I did want to pick this up just basically because I like the soundtrack, and the movie's okay. It stars Brooke Adams and James Karen, of all people. Kathy Griffin is in this as well. And then last but not least, I picked up Lake Placid, which is a movie I really enjoy, starring Bridget Fonda, Bill Pullman, and Oliver Platt, and Betty White. If you know, you know. Lake Placid, a great horror film, finally in my collection. So there you go. That is what I picked up in October. Like I said, not too terribly much, but a lot of good additions to the collection. Like and comment and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Have you seen any of these films? Please share your thoughts. And if you've subscribed recently, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So as always, take it easy. Bye.